Greetings, listeners. I'm your host this evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Twisted Gear Studios production. You're about to listen to The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast, GM'd by Derek Snow. If you're a fan and looking to support us, on our page you'll see a button to Ko-fi, a service wherever you're interested, you can tip us a couple of dollars here and there. Each tip goes to buying us a coffee for my late-night editing sessions, and it also helps to cover our fees for getting these shows to you, so it is greatly appreciated. Who knows, maybe in the future, if there's enough support, we'll start adding features to the show, like video, weekly releases, you never know. And now, without any further delay. Previous report from our investigators. Having been led astray by Skeet, the investigators chased him down through the rooftops of Boston. In the fray, all they have to show for their work is a wounded officer and a self-immolated corpse, only to return home to see Skeet cleaning the car.
So you're in the hospital. You're in like this little waiting room, wondering what's happened with Officer Ricky.
Okay.
I don't think I called him Ricky Bobby,
No,
but
not.
I could. I'm pretty sure I referred to him as Ricky. Pretty sure, and that's what I'm going with. Or at least that might be a nickname if the thing's in continuity error. It might be a nickname. Because what happens is Officer Vincent Caputo comes up to you.
Yes, it was Ricky.
Yeah. Yes. Glad I didn't have to change the universe to make that fit. What happened? And he just comes up to you. What happened to Officer Ricky? You brought him in, right? I have a quick question.
Okay.
Did you meet Caputo? Or was that...
That was
yeah, so you haven't met Caputo. So an unnamed officer... No, I'm pretty...
Who I don't know has already
sure,
met.
because he was talking to somebody else. Anyway, let's try to keep it together. You know him.
Yeah,
'Cause-
I've met Caputo, but Vincent Caputo so far has only interrogated Agatha and Mary.
Because
Yeah,
of the
because-
I've never been in trouble.
No, but he was
before
talking
meeting all
to
of you.
somebody else about having to go down to the police station, other than you two.
Amos, I think,
Right.
about his apartment blowing up.
Yeah, that did happen. I know it was with another
And
person.
it was probably me.
Either way, it doesn't really matter. Continuity error is fun. Cthulhu, yay!
Cthulhu stirs.
It's like the Astro Boy. At the end of the episode, if you could tell me what he, screwed up with. You win a cookie. Anyway, so... Althea.
Yes.
Fun times. Althea. So you have Officer Vincent Caputo, who you do know from somewhere, even if it's outside of the game. I'm just saying, you're quite a respected person in town. You know a lot of people, but he comes up to you. Can you roll a credit rating roll for me, please?
Oh god.
This will be when I roll 100. 14 out of 50.
Put a tick in credit
Damn.
rating.
Mhm.
I'm going to rewind, and I'm going to start this over. And he comes up. You see an officer come up to you.
Holding his hat in front of him.
And... No, his hat's on. And he says...
Indoors.
Oh, he's like, you look familiar. I never forget a face. You're Althea Goodyear. We might have met before. I'm not entirely sure. But what's happened to Officer Ricky?
Gosh.
Well, there's been a lot going on for this guy. It was raining psychosis.
Oh my god.
He has had
That
a
is how you
busy
deal
day.
with that situation. Roll for it.
Okay.
Alright, cool. That's the way it is.
DM made a saving throw.
Yeah, I look pretty beat up myself.
Well,
Continuity saving
okay,
throw.
but he doesn't seem to care about you at the moment. He doesn't seem to notice is the other way to put
Yeah.
it. But he's just like, well, you brought in Officer Ricky. Well, what's happened with Officer Ricky? Officer Ricky.
And Althea just kind of sighs. I feel absolutely terrible about this.
Uh-huh.
So, some acquaintances of mine and myself had taken a trip out of town. I had gotten word through some other acquaintances of mine that there might be a bit of an estate outside of town that had been abandoned. And this acquaintance of mine that I had been speaking with, said that, please strap yourself in because it's going to be a bit of a story for me to get to this explanation, said that this home
He hauls out a notepad, flips it up,
Yep.
and starts taking notes.
Oh yeah, he would be a terrible cop if he didn't. He takes photos.
Continue.
Snap.
One photo's worth 1,000 words. Do not forget this.
It's true.
Anyway.
Any new camera that broke.
Depends on the 1,000 words.
Anyway.
Let's continue.
Anyway, so this acquaintance of mine deals with antiques and that sort of thing. So he told me that he had heard through some friends of his that there was this estate on the outskirts of Boston that apparently had been abandoned, but there had been several items left at the home. Now, being who I am, my family's background and stuff, I do have quite the collection of antiques in my home, and it very much bothered me to think about this estate having all these things left there that were just free for robbery or other things. Anyway, so some acquaintances of mine took some vehicles and went out to this home to investigate. So we were coming back into Boston with some items in my car, and the car that we were driving, my Packard, started having some trouble.
He stops you for a second and says, "Are you referring to a Packard Twin 6?"
Yes, I own several of them, different ones.
Okay.
So my Packard
Good Lord.
started having some trouble. So we both pulled off into an alleyway. And amongst everything that was going on, I'm assuming that Officer Ricky, perhaps seeing, I'm not really sure, perhaps being suspicious in some way, pulled into the alley, and I don't know, this might be part of what's been going wrong with my car, but a friend of mine accidentally hit him with the car, reversed. And I feel absolutely terrible about it. Absolutely dreadful, which is why I'm here, why I brought him in myself, why I'm waiting here. If there's any medical bills that are a part of this, or his family shows up, I want to be here to offer them my condolences, and anything that I can do to help them, all they have to do is say it.
And he's still writing in his notepad, and he's just like, "Oh, okay. Did your friend hit you as well?" Because he's sort of looking at you, and when you look down at yourself, you have to realize, like, the sewer escapade and everything else. This all happened in a 24-hour period, give or take, right?
Oh.
As far as I recall.
It's the same day.
And you look, you're messed up. There's blood. You're hurt.
I'm hurt.
Yeah, as far as
I'll be honest. When it comes to, when I get something in my mind, we went out to this estate. I was in their cellar on the grounds. I tripped and fell in the alleyway as well. Honestly,
you look like shit.
Yes.
He writes that in his book.
You look like shit.
Vinny.
He seems very... He's had a rough 24 hours. Every cop has had
One crime at a time, please.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Would you like to charm, persuade, or fast talk him? You are leaving things out of the story. Understandably slow. I'm not saying if you fail it, that he's going to immediately have some insight to know. He'll just know that there's something have been left out. You know what I mean? Like there is something that
He's
you're
a
not.
cop. He's trained
there's something
into
that you're not
figuring
saying.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Are you telling me I have to roll one of those three and I can pick which one?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's the way you do
Okay.
it.
All right.
But the other thing I have to say is, if you choose not to try any of that, he gets to just have a check.
Okay.
To see a psychology check.
All right.
To see if you're leaving something out. So you can just rely on his role as a police officer with his psychology. But it's the 20s. I mean,
So I'll roll a charm because I have no ranks in any of them, and it has the highest base of 15.
you are Althea Goodyear, heiress to the Goodyear fortune, and you have no charm, persuade,
No,
or you're a horrible noble.
I have a credit. No, listen. I am an aristocrat in the 1920s.
That's true.
I have willpower, I have a credit rating, and I know how to fly a plane. I mean, what do you want from me?
That is one of the most. That is one of the best descriptions of Call of Cthulhu that I think characters in Call of Cthulhu.
Listen,
No, you win. I agree.
I'm a rich person, whether it's today or decades ago. I don't need charm to get what I want.
With that attitude, I will also give you a bonus die on this roll because it's the way you're carrying yourself.
The bonus
Yeah.
die is the percentile, right?
Correct.
I just want to point out that, in contrast, as a very low working class person, I have all three of those things.
See?
You need it.
It works
yeah.
out. Okay, so my first roll is 55. My second roll is 35. So 35 out of 15.
Okay, fair enough. This is going to push him to be able to make a psychology check.
Okay.
Now, if you would have succeeded, I wouldn't have had an opposed check.
Nah.
This is just me, because he's had a lot happen too.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sitting there smiling or anything. I'm anxious.
He just continues to write in his book. He doesn't seem to...
Making his own notes.
It doesn't really look like he disbelieves you. It's not like he gives you the, evil eye or anything like that. He's like, oh, okay, so what about his squad car? Which alley did this happen in?
And I do know the general area, right? And
Yeah, of course you do.
I'm not sure. I brought him here in a vehicle, so unless it's been retrieved by someone else, I would imagine it's still there.
Okay. And he writes, and you tell him the location.
Yeah,
and
because
and he
if I
writes it
send
down.
him to the other side of the city, it's going to be like,
The
police
fuck,
know
man?
they didn't pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, well, while you're here, maybe you should get looked at as well.
Oh, I'm all right. I mean, I have some medical training, and I also have someone at home who could.
You should get looked at.
Marion, you're not there.
I know.
Sanity
I'm all
roll.
right. I mean, I'm at 6 out of 10. I might need some stitches.
I'm like 6 out of 10. I might need some stitches. Bring me to the nearest plane.
Splint.
Can I roll
Maybe
a Can I roll a first aid on
cane.
myself,
Sure, go
or a
ahead.
medicine check to see
Sure.
how badly hurt I am? Like when he says it, if I have this.
Well, you know how
realization.
badly hurt you are. So, first aid.
Yes, I do. First aid is 28 out of 81.
Damn.
You're really good at first aid. Yeah, you put a tick in.
have
And
any
you
leads?
also... So while he's talking to you about it, you just open up... I'm assuming you have your doctor's bag.
Yes.
I'm just going to say she does have it regardless of any
My bag of many
previous
things. I have my
And
bag.
you sort of haul out some linens and you just start touching up,
Yep.
wrapping stuff up and stuff.
Mhm.
You, from the first aid check, you actually healed 2 wounds from just getting it, you just taking care of it. And he's sort of looking at you because for you, it's really like old hat now. You know,
I
you're
keep
just
hurting myself.
you're just, and he's just watching you because you're just looking at him. You're not even looking at yourself. Like you're just like wrapping up. Oh, rib hurts a little. You're just
Just pop it
no,
back.
no, she'd
No,
be,
I don't do that.
She's not Amos with no real bones anymore.
What is this bone
I
doing
don't-
out of my
I
leg?
don't know what that means.
Yeah,
You actually don't. I'll tell you
I
later.
legit.
you're not gonna like it.
No.
Will you though?
We're with Althea now, people.
Sorry.
So yeah, are you going? My question is, are you going to stick around to see? You know that you've heard
Mhm.
and basically know that Ricky isn't going to die.
Okay, yeah.
So knowing that, are you going to stick around or go back to your mansion? You've been here for a couple of hours, say.
Okay. So if he's out of the woods,
He is.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like I mean, not dying doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily
Okay.
mean same quality of life,
Um,
but yeah, he's messed up. Like he's messed up.
okay.
I'll shut
Um,
up. Go ahead.
I mean, there's like what kind of phones were around in 1923?
The telephones.
Okay. Okay.
But
Oh
regardless of what real history is, I always have it that you go through an operator. You go through a switchboard, you go through an operator, but
Yeah.
telephones that existed. There were things known as police booths,
Yeah. Okay. That's
which is
How
you
okay.
know.
So
Is there a blue one?
Oh, you were so excited when you said that.
Oh.
maybe. They're all blue.
Okay, so while he's still there or whatever, when I finish doing up the bandage and stuff, I'll say, actually, now that we're talking about it, I am feeling quite exhausted.
It sounds like you were through quite an ordeal.
Well, it's not nearly as big a deal as this officer and his family, but and I'll stand up at this point and say, I'll give him my phone number.
Yeah.
And I'll say, if his family, you're speaking with them and they need to reach me, feel free. I'll leave it with the nurses as well, in case. But I think I'm going to head home, to be honest.
Just one more question, Ms. Goodyear. You said you went to this abandoned house on the outskirts of town, and did you collect any of the you said you were taking the antiques for safekeeping?
Yes, I did say that. I said with some items in a car.
Oh, okay. So, like...
Oh.
But what are you going to do with them?
Oh, there's probably a couple options. I know that the museum here, outside my own home, the museum might be, but I have done some work for a center in town. What are they called? New England Center of Antiquities. I've done some work for them, and I quite like the owners, and they are. I've always been very impressed with their knowledge, so I might look into that as well.
This is me rolling a roll for Officer Caputo.
Okay.
He's never heard of the place, so he's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense.
I know it seems odd. It's just when you've dealt with as many valuable items as I have or my family has, or the thought of them just sitting and gathering dust is just... it's terrible.
Understandable, ma'am. What's the address of the house on the outskirts of town, or the estate on the outskirts of town, where it was abandoned? I can get somebody to go check on it. I can just pass it off to the city itself.
Of course. I do have the address. I do know the address, don't I?
Did we get the address, or did we just follow O'Malley?
I thought we just followed O'Malley.
No, O'Malley just took us there. We didn't have the address.
You've been there, so you can.
He would
give,
still be familiar.
You can. You don't mind. You can give the general directions.
I can give the general area. Well, my driver had the specific address.
Well, you drove yourself, ma'am, didn't you?
No, I went with myself and some other people.
Yeah, but you showed up at the hospital.
Oh yes,
with just you.
Yes, because I brought the officer with me.
Yeah. Where did the other people... So the other people brought the antiques to your house.
Okay, outside the conversation right now. The antiques, they were transferred to the Packard, right?
Nope. No, they were in the van. From the robber's van.
We took the van back to the mansion, right?
Okay, so I drove him here in the Packard. Yeah.
Yes, it was just you and him in the Packard.
That's what I wanted to clarify. I was like, I was in
There's a lot of dead bodies at that address, by the way.
Yep. Where you just
ripped apart bodies.
Breaking and entering.
But don't tell her that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Because, she's, like we said before, like an aristocrat. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, we're not there.
She'll just fly her plane into it. It's okay.
Well, they with everything that was going on, I just volunteered to take him myself.
Oh, that's fine. What's the name of your driver who accidentally backed into Officer Ricky? I'm sure you can... I don't really see much is going to happen, but, that could be a useful piece of information.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Tricky.
I know what I would say. I don't know if she's going to say it.
I know what I would say.
I know what. Yeah, you know what you, the player, would say. You can say what you like. I'm just saying that whatever you say may come with a die roll that he might see that something's up. For God's sakes, woman, put some stuff into charm, or persuade, or fast talk.
Sorry, that's funny.
Although Althea really isn't charming, persuasive,
I think the most persuasive one of the group.
And she doesn't really talk fast.
Shouldn't I just be able to roll my credit rating for any of these questions?
Oh, now it depends on if you want to try to use your station as an intimidation tactic.
Oh no.
No, like the idea of listen, I'm very important.
No.
Do
no,
you
no,
know
no,
who
no.
I am?
That's,
Do you know
that's
who I
not
am?
the
Do you know who
approach.
my father is?
That's not the approach I wanted to take with
That's
this.
Jeff Vader.
It'll be yeah. He's waiting because you're,
Okay.
of course, also being like staring at him, not saying anything.
Hey, come on now. I'm in an out of character moment.
She's also in
Everything
shock.
freezes when that happens.
Does it? Oh, okay. Zach from Saved by the Bell.
All right.
Okay.
And Zach in real life, that happens to me.
His name is
His name. Okay.
Skeet.
Skeet.
Yes. So, okay.
Do we have a last name?
No.
There.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
last
know his
name.
last
We know
name.
Wilson
his last
Bottom.
name.
Wilson Bottom. Skeet Wilson Bottom. I love that now everyone just remembers Skeet, but it's like Wilson Bottom's the funniest part.
So you don't remember Wilson Bottom?
So,
Oh, Skeet Wilson Bottom. Oh, okay.
yes. So,
Sounds like an interesting character.
He doesn't even know.
he's so I hired him to do some work on my property and things like that, and he has acted as my driver for some things. I'll be honest. He is a little well, it's just he's a little
Say something.
slow on the uptake.
Okay, fair enough. Why does that name sound familiar?
Oh.
This is what Caputo says. Why does that name sound familiar? Skeet
Well,
Wilson Bottom.
I believe he said that he has some family in the city.
Oh no. He has to make a roll. It's gonna
Yeah.
be difficult, but he'd have to roll.
What's happening right now?
You have to roll really well.
Yeah, well, I don't, so.
He rolled an 86 on a check that I'm not going to say what it is, so he doesn't clue in that. But you do realize at the time that the military
Mhm.
is looking for Skeet Wilson Bottom because they came in to Swill's gullet,
Okay.
We've been
and
hiding him.
there was a gas leak.
We've been hiding him.
Yeah, but at the time, like Vincent Caputo, there's been a lot happening this day.
I know.
He doesn't even remember if you met you before or not.
It's fair.
Who told us that the military was looking
That was
for
like
it?
No, we knew that as soon as we got back from Spill's Gullet.
So we kind of heard it as a rumor?
It was through a report.
Report,
For
actions.
his friend that
yeah.
got murdered.
Yeah. Bill told us to
That's
hide
fine.
him.
which is no, it's fine.
He told me he's not from Boston. He came into the city and was looking for work, and it just so happened I needed someone on the grounds. The man built a tree house in my yard.
Oh,
Yes.
how nice of a treehouse.
Very nice. The wood came from overseas, so it's very, very,
Simply the best.
very nice tree house.
Oh, okay.
But I'll be honest. This being at, I was very afraid of what might happen to him. I mean, this was an accident, and I'm willing to do whatever to make it right, basically.
Fair enough, Ms. Goodyear. I am sure that, nothing is going, as long as Ricky pulls through okay. I'm sure that with your resources, there can be some kind of an arrangement where this doesn't need to go any further. I'm sure this is quite common for people who live on the hills to just accidentally hit people with their cars. It happens. At least you brought him to the hospital.
Well,
Oh,
this happened, and
God.
people not brought them to the hospital.
It happens all the time.
Oh, sweet Lord, that's terrible.
Oh yeah, I know it is. That's why I'm surprised you're even here. You're right though. I don't really want to hold up much of more of your time.
Well,
Of course,
listen,
if I have it,
Oh my
if it
God.
happens again, call me and you give me their name, and I will make use of my position on the hill.
roll a credit rating check.
Oh, there you
Someone's
That's
getting
what you
kicked out of the
prefer.
country club.
Yeah.
Oh, 56 out of 50.
Okay.
Damn it.
He just
Rating is
he's just
50?
sort of looks at you for a second, and he's like, "If I have any other questions, could I? I'll phone to arrange a meeting. If I have any other questions.
Of course,
Yeah.
that's
I would never dare to presume to just show up unwarranted, of course, to your estate, your palatial estate.
Well, yes, that would be fine. Of course.
I may have some questions for Skeet, but of course, this mightn't go any further, depending on what Officer Ricky would like to happen.
Of course.
When he regains consciousness and use of his limbs.
Yes. And again, if his family, when you speak with them, please let them know they are free to get in touch with me. Of course.
Okay.
Anytime.
Okay, fair enough. And he sort of turns and nice talking to you. And he tips his hat and he walks down the hall, apparently down toward somewhere in the hospital.
Okay, I'll stop by the nurse's station.
Sure.
Give my phone number to them for Officer Ricky's family.
Mhm.
And Officer Ricky himself.
Mhm.
If
It'd be pretty easy to get a hold of you
Mhm.
because literally you pick up operator, I'd like to get a hold of blah, 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 Goodyear State, and a phone will ring there somewhere. Hopefully not in the hedge maze.
Hey, we don't talk about the hedge maze.
But there is a phone
What
there.
hedge maze?
Oh god.
I love that. Sorry.
I sleep in the hedge maze.
Nope.
Nope.
It's like deja vu.
Oh, stop.
Deja
No.
Okay.
You either honeydew or you honey don't.
Okay, I'm going to move back to So Althea, as you go hop into your Packard Twin 6 and start start driving back to your estate.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take you around. Just let me roll some dice here.
Why?
30 minutes. Gonna take you around 30 minutes.
Come on now, it takes that long to get up my driveway.
Oh god.
Christ.
Credit rating roll.
Wait.
No.
You got to share that little investigation thing you found there, Liz, on our about why everything takes 3 minutes in the city. It's a fun fact. There's actual science behind that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm glad my craziness gets backed up by science.
It does.
That sucks.
It's the reverse. That's the problem. I'm going to move over to the rest of you, driving the van, one of the large MLs,
Yeah.
pretty much, with a pile of stuff loaded in the back. You're driving the ML up the state driveway, if you will. Takes around 30 minutes. No. And you see out in front is a Packard Twin 6, and Skeet appears to be waxing it. Wax on, wax off.
What the fuck?
I
And he's-
told you.
You told me what?
Wasn't Skeets? Just park.
I get out of the car.
I also.
Well,
get
you're
up-
driving up.
Yeah. She, like barely before you've even gone to park, I get out of the side of the
Yeah,
car.
I'll park the car, and also as soon as I park the car, I'm also hopping out and going right after Steve.
When the hell did you get here? As I get up to.
Okay, so you pull up
Yeah.
in the vehicle, and as you park, Skeet sort of looks back and at you all, and he sort of waves with this cherry smile on his face and goes back to waxing. And then you all hop out and you go up and continue.
When the hell did you get back?
He sort of looks at you and he's like, back from where?
What have you done today? What tasks have you accomplished today?
His eyes go wide. Oh no, it's the bane of Skeet. What did you do today? I did some yard work, and my accent's all screwed up because I don't know how to give him an accent anymore. Will be
Christ.
the Swedish chef this episode. I don't know what you're talking about. What? I don't know. I've just been going around doing stuff
You
here.
didn't drive us into town, down south.
Well, no.
Psychology
What?
check.
You're rolling a psychology check.
Yeah,
yes.
29 out of 54.
29 out of 54.
Yeah.
Give me a second, even if it's not a roll. I want to see, just to give the air of
Mystery.
he doesn't seem to be hiding anything.
Well,
So who the hell drove us out of here approximately
I don't know.
6
I don't know,
hours
son.
ago?
well,
I don't know.
I'm gonna actually try and find Cadbury to see if Cadbury can verify that Skeet was here all day.
Okay, fair enough. So you go into the house. I'm going to keep. Marion, what are you doing?
I'm there with
Amos and Skeets, and when I see Agatha going into the house, and say, "Oh, tell Cadbury that Father O'Malley is injured. We're going to need his help right away."
And if you see Simon before you see Cadbury, have him come on out too.
Skeets, you left with us.
No, pretty sure I didn't.
Did you see us leave? Have you seen us at all today?
Well, this is very early in the morning at this point, right?
Yeah, we
Because
were
it
up
was,
all night. Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
yeah,
up
yeah.
all night.
And you all look a little bit frantic, right? Because you've
Yeah.
had a rough 24 hours. And he's like, well, I mean, today is just started.
Yesterday. When was the last time you saw us?
Not rightfully sure. I did get on a bit of a bender last night. You know, a little bit of a bender.
A bit of a bender.
Here? Or did you go out?
Over, and he sort of like points in the direction of the trees or his tree houses. over at the Skeet estate.
Right. The Skeet estate.
It's palatal.
I don't even know what that means. So you don't recollect us leaving last night with Father O'Malley?
Don't recollect much. No?
I'm gonna roll a
What's
psychology roll on
recollect
that.
mean?
Remember.
Remember. I wish I could, but I still don't know what it means.
No. Recollect means remember. You don't remember
I don't
much
I don't
of
recall.
yesterday.
No, I had quite a bender on last night. Today's a bit of a blur.
The whole day?
Well, I mean, Ulrich dropped by.
Sorry. What?
Yes, it's City Skeet, my cousin. He dropped by.
When?
We got a little bit. I think it was yesterday. What's today?
I tell him the date.
Oh. I don't know how good that is to me.
When did Ulrich show up and when did he leave?
Ulrich.
Was that his name?
Yes, you put such an emphasis on it. This is Skeet. He's emphasized. Ulrich. Makes him sound hoity-toity.
What did he say when he dropped by?
Oh, not much. We're talking about family stuff, and he brought some, you know.
I thought you couldn't find him.
Well, he just showed up, and we were up in the treehouse having a few drinks. And
How did he know you were here and when did you leave?
oh, I don't know. We got into the booze, and sort of had a bit too much, and he probably did too. I don't know. He was here a moment. He showed up early yesterday. I don't know. I woke up. He wasn't around anymore. We're having a good drink.
When you passed out, was there still light out?
Yeah. I think so. At this point, I'm just going to go quickly to Agatha as you run into the house because enough conversation has happened. And it's like you walk inside and there's just you don't see anybody.
I'm calling it call out Cadbury's name. Just Cadbury, where are you? Like,
Are you going to just stay in that foyer, that front foyer?
probably. I would know enough of Cadbury's movements, a general idea where he would be. Would I?
No.
Not really.
He
No,
should
trying
be
to
Kind of
sleep in my-
mysterious.
trying to catch up whatever
You do know
sleep
that
he
the
could
invisible
get.
servants are probably.
But
there's
we
at least
do
one
know
of
where
them.
his-
Nameless?
We
Sorry,
do.
nameless.
We do know where his room is because I've been there before.
Yeah, did you want to head to it?
Yes, I'm going
Okay.
to do
Wow.
that. And just meanwhile, while going through the hallways, just call out his name and just say, "We need help. Can you please help us?" Right.
Can you roll a percentage for me, please?
Oh, what?
Just a percentage. Just tell me what percent you get.
15.
Okay.
Okay.
So as you're
no.
heading off toward Cadbury's room,
Yeah.
you feel a cold breeze. Now, you look down the hallway you're in, and there's no windows open or anything. It's not like there's any air conditioning in here or anything. But you just feel for a second like this cold breeze just pass by you. And it just, you know what I mean? You shiver a little bit.
Okay.
You know, you get that feeling like somebody's walked over your grave.
Okay.
As if a chain of events has happened and now you don't know where they're going to end.
Oh my
As you
God.
get to Cadbury's room. As you get to Cadbury's room and you, I'm assuming, knock on the door.
Yes.
And you hear some mumbles. And the door opens up and Cadbury is got a
A nightgown?
No. Yes. He has like a Scrooge. He has like a screw.
Were you
Ebenezer
gonna say
Scrooge.
dressing gown? Is that
No,
what you were
no,
gonna
no,
say?
Smoking
No.
jacket,
Yeah, but it's like a
house coat.
no. That's like an Ebenezer Scrooge. You know what I mean?
He's a man with the olden times. So.
Yeah,
And he
right,
sort of
right.
opens up the door and he's just like, "Oh, is Althea okay?" Because he looks at you and you're a bit messy and bloody, and he's just like gives you the look, I should say.
I'm just gonna outright say Althea's fine. She took someone who needed medical attention to the hospital. That's why
Who?
she's not here. A police officer.
What?
Okay.
Christ.
I need
What
you
did
to.
Amos do now?
What the fuck?
You can talk to him when you see him, but right now, Father O'Malley has been injected with something. We need help to get him out of the car.
Uh-huh.
Also, I need you to tell me, was Skeet with you all day yesterday?
He sort of just looks at you for a second and closes the door.
Yeah.
And then it's like no passage of time whatsoever. Like it's so quick.
door
And the door
closes
opens
open.
and he's like fully dressed. And he's just combing. He's just combing because he's got like the bald spot and stuff. And he's just
Oh
combing
my
his hair
God.
slightly.
Yeah.
And he picks up a doctor's bag. And you don't recall seeing it there. And he's like, well, let's go. Somebody's hurt. And he's like, did you say something about Skeet?
Have you seen him all day? Was he with you all day yesterday, or did you see him at all day yesterday?
I did. And I didn't really see him. No, I thought he went with you guys later on in the day.
We
Right?
might have to talk to you about
Uh,
breach of security, but right now we need to.
Breach of security.
You can talk to Amos and everything about that, but right now Father O'Malley needs help. We need to get him into the inside.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess we'll be heading towards.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you head back out. Now I'm going to go back
Yeah,
to you.
if they have not come back out by the time the conversation that we were having with Skeet,
No,
whenever
they
that
haven't. This
temporarily
is
lines up, I'm actually gonna go up to the front door. I'm gonna basically throw the front door open and be like, "Simon, where are you lazy ass?" God damn it! And I go down to the lab just in case he's down there.
okay. So you head on in as well. So it's just Marion outdoors with Skeet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna leave open the door for the dog.
oh yeah, yeah, and
of the
Irish
vehicle.
wolfhound
Yes.
hops out, and Skeet is just like, oh,
Oh.
doggy.
Oh my god!
And you notice, Marion, that Skeet starts walking toward the Irish wolfhound. That's like to pet it, and the Irish wolfhound recoils. It seems to have a sort of gets a little bit back. Doesn't growl, doesn't run away, but sort of leans back a little bit. It does, and it does let Skeet pet it, but you notice this quick moment of uncertainty in regards to Skeet.
I know.
And then it seems to relax. You know what I mean? Then it seems to relax once he starts petting. And he's just like, oh, it's over you, doggy. Oh, rah, 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 rah. Yeah.
Interesting.
You go on in and down to the lab. Simon is down there. He seems to have a lab coat on. And there's beakers and stuff out with liquid in them. And he has a filtration and stuff. There's this line of he's doing alchemical experiments or something. He's got some stuff happening, and as you come down, you're like, Simon! He just looks back at you and just, shh. What's going on?
Why are you whispering?
Shh, shh. Reacts to noise. We gotta be just a little bit quiet at the moment.
Do you fucking sleep?
Oh man. You've got a lot to learn.
Good question. All right.
What's going on?
Need you upstairs. Come on.
What's going on?
O'Malley's been poked with something. We have
Oh.
a dog that seems overly friendly, and Skeet apparently. I have a burnt corpse of Skeet in the back of my car while he's also scrubbing the car outside.
Oh, it's been so long since I've had to do an autopsy. He says it.
You can wait until Althea shows back up. I'm sure she'd love to help you out, but for now, I'd like to figure out what the hell's going on with the two Skeets, the dog,
Well,
and
just
if
bring.
O'Malley's not dead.
I'm just busy with this for a second. Just bring the body down here, and then I'll look it
What
over when it gets
is
here.
this?
Oh, I found in one of the drawers there was a vial of liquid.
Uh huh.
Was going through my drawers.
Yeah. I put that there so no one would find it. The hell are you doing with it?
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out chemical composition and stuff like that. It seems very similar to something that me and Alistair worked on. Yeah.
And that thing you were working on was...
Something? What's got your goat? He's sort of like looking at you.
I've had a rough 24 hours,
I,
and that black shit wrecked a town east of here. Was found in
yes,
this
the report
coat.
to Swill's Gullet, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm just doing some research.
I'm just curious as to what it could possibly be, and if you knew anything about it before we went to Swill's Gullet, that'd be interesting to know.
Well, I guess it would be. I mean, I'm just doing some research. I was in something like a bit of a coma, man.
That's fair.
Plus, I mean...
I'll be back with the charred corpse.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
He
well,
just
thanks.
seems a little confused by the change in dynamic, because technically, you know,
Do I know?
he's the boss.
Oh. Amos is upset. He's had a rough day.
Yeah. Even though it hasn't seemed that way, he is, you know, the director of the New England Center of Antiquities with Alistair, your employers, somewhat.
Yeah, well, Amos isn't exactly seen it that way. He's,
Yeah. But Simon
he
doesn't
thinks
give
they're
you crap
throwing him
about
into
it.
shit.
But he's just like, yeah, I mean, we'll discuss it when I find out more. But I mean, if you want to bring down the body, I just got to stay with this for a little bit. I'm not. He feels like somebody somewhere is burning a hole through his soul.
Yeah,
Not
it's me
my
staring at him.
laboire.
I drink whiskey and I go upstairs.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So you go on back upstairs and you run into Agatha, who has Cadbury in tow as you're heading to the front door. I'm going to go back to Marion, who's outdoors with Skeet. The dog seems to, after a minute or two, to actually, you don't see that reaction anymore. The dog seems to have taken a liking to Skeet, as if it has been charmed by Skeet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that a...
Skeets, you said you hadn't seen your cousin Ulrich in a long time?
Yeah. Yeah, I went out looking for him a while ago. I mean, I got really drunk. I got really drunk yesterday. Me and all.
So, would it have been unusual for him to be gone if you guys got drunk together last night?
Aw. He could always handle his booze a bit better than I could. Yeah. Different accent all the way, baby. Yeah, he can always handle his booze pretty good. I mean, you know, city Skeet and all is weird, but I mean, no. Although I woke up and he wasn't around or anything.
Maybe we should. When Amos and Agatha get back, they're going to be unloading a few things from the vehicle. Maybe you should put the Packard in the garage while they're doing that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and you can come back in just a bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So as Agatha, Cadbury, and Amos come out the front door, you see Skeet backing up the Packard Twin Six over to the side of the house where the massive garages are. They're all connected, but you understand where I'm coming from. As he sort of drives over there, you all come out, and Cadbury runs over to the ML, the larger vehicle with the piles of stuff in the back.
Oh, thank goodness, Cadbury, quickly! And I open the door and I show him where Father O'Malley is, and I just say, we don't know what he was stuck with, what happened.
Oh, well, so we should bring him downstairs to the
Yes, right away.
medical lab for sure.
Well, we're bringing that one. Agatha, you feel like helping me out with this one?
Sure.
And Cadbury sort of looks at you. Where's Althea?
I said to you, she's at the hospital.
Yeah.
She took.
He just seems a
patient
bit
there.
confused.
Yeah, no, she's fine. Well, like I said, there was a police officer that got involved and injured, and Althea, being the good person that she is, brought him to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So she should be on her way. She does have the Packard Twin Six with her. She does have a means to get back here.
He's like, well, I'm gonna need some help moving Father O'Malley. As Cadbury
Amos,
looks
come
at
on.
Amos.
Wait, I just I dropped the legs. One that I got. All right, and I'll help out with Father O'Malley.
Yeah.
I'm just
back
gonna
for
be
that one.
standing there, like holding the shoulders and being like, fuck just happened?
Yeah, you're just holding
Back
on
for
to
that
this
one.
wrapped up tarp.
Yeah.
Cadbury's just looking at you.
I figure 2 people per body, but I'll help out with the and then we'll come back
I'm
with
just kind of hovering around Father O'Malley.
Yep, fair enough.
Yeah, the
Cool.
living come first.
As you move on down to the labour.
I have a strength of 40. I was not going to be very much help.
Oh, I see.
And Cadbury just like, come on, Amos.
All right, I just saw
Right.
2 people on Father O'Malley. I figured I didn't think that. All right,
Yeah.
I'll grab Father O'Malley's arms.
Okay.
Is Skeet still there?
No, as you
Something
came
like-
out the door, Skeet was backing the package of
Oh,
6
right.
around the side, seemed to be heading back toward the garage area. The garage area.
Okay.
You get on down to the labour. Simon is down there, and you notice when you get down there now, like he seems to just be cleaning. He has the setup and stuff he had with liquids. They seem to be empty, and he seems to be just cleaning them in one of the sinks down there.
Damn, that was quick.
Well, it was quick.
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
Oh, I was just doing a little bit of an experiment, Marion.
Oh.
Oh.
Did
And then Cadbury and Amos, you get Father O'Malley to a seat, and then I'm assuming Cadbury asks for your help as you he gets you to get some, can you go get this, help me with this, and you're checking out, getting the temperature of Father O'Malley and stuff, and then you can also come converse with Simon if you wish.
Did you learn anything interesting?
Yeah, somewhat to do with the black liquid. It seems it's getting something is causing it to be more agitated.
How's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. We've had samples of this before, and it wasn't as agitated. But it seems to be more reactive now than it was each time we've had samples before.
2 things real quick. 1, I gotta go upstairs and get a corpse, so I'll be right back. But 2, that particular vial of black ichor was actually found in Grandfather Goodyear's coat here.
Yes, I only needed a drop of it. I mean, there's still...
I just wasn't
and
sure.
I put it back in the drawer.
I just wasn't sure if if where you got it from may have impacted the difference between what you were looking at.
I don't think
Why
so.
were you looking through Althea's grandfather's coat?
I kind of make a gesture as if I'm wearing it.
Oh. Right.
Sounds like, and it
I'm
does
kind
look...
of still giving you an odd look.
But Simon's like, and it does look dashing.
It does look dashing. It was just in the pocket. Althea, when we were given clothes by Althea, she gave me this coat. It was in the pocket. I returned the personal belongings from it, and anyway, I'll be back with the charred body.
Maybe make sure Skeets doesn't see you.
Sure.
If it is who I think it is, we shouldn't surprise him like that.
That's a fair point. Go on upstairs and
Mhm.
finally help you out with the body.
I'm gonna say one thing to you
Why
while you
not?
come back to the body. I'm gonna look at you and be like, do you think it would be important to go and investigate Skeet's treehouse for evidence of his cousin to see if there was anything left behind?
I think it's a great idea, but we're gonna give it a couple. Let's one step at a time. But I'm with you.
Yeah.
We should go do that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to... I guess just ask Marion, is there... Well, when everyone else is gone, it's just you, Simon, and Cadbury with Father O'Malley on the table. So there's actually quite a number of people. Is there any conversation that you wanted to start with them?
Yeah, I haven't looked through my notes, so, I'm gonna ask Simon, have you learned anything more about Swill's gullet?
Oh, see, I've been in such a coma. I mean, this is like... I got cleaned up from yesterday's earlier in the day yesterday. And I started, not really poking around, but getting the lay of the land
Yes.
here.
And after what happened at the center, I don't suppose there's any chance of recovering the building.
Recovering the building.
Well, it was fired upon. It was shot out by a machine gun.
Oh, yeah, I mean, just a little bit of drywalling and such. I'm sure we'll get it back up to tip top. Or we'll probably, I need to get a hold of Mr. Black again. To probably, maybe arrange a new location. Considering what's happened.
Can I ask a quick question?
Oh, go ahead.
Where's the dog?
When you went outdoors and you were talking to Agatha, you weren't really looking for the dog. So when you were talking to her, the dog is just around the ML.
Okay, so he's
Like
with us.
Like it's just wandering around sniffing.
I was inquiring if he was with us or if he was in the basement.
No, he never went inside.
Okay, I'll call the dog with us while that's happening.
What about? You didn't earlier seem. Do you have any idea of where Alistair might be?
I'm pretty sure. I managed to sort of isolate it down to somewhere around the Silver Twilight Lodge location. I believe that is to the heart of the issue. The heart of the issue.
That is definitely. We were planning on investigating there next.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think from what I've been able to piece together somewhat, that there's some kind of cult or something that's based out of there. Maybe this is where Alistair was taken. I just got that feeling from, the ritual of finding and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's where he is.
The what?
Just focused. Me and Alistair has a bond. Very similar to what me and Amos has now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like I've said many times to you before, Marion. It just seems like magic.
Of course. No, there's always an explanation.
Exactly. Just the science hasn't caught up to it yet. That's it.
Of course.
Yeah, and at this point, Amos and Agatha carrying the burnt corpse of what you thought was Skeet, or is Skeet, who knows, and the Irish Wolfhound will come down to the labour.
I guess we're gonna hoist it onto a table, eh?
Yeah, that's kind of idea. There's two tables down here.
Should he really be in here? I'm pointing at the dog.
And the dog's sort of just wagging its tail, and it sits down next to you, as Marion, as you point, and it's sort of just like smells at your leg and sort of rubs its head against you, and it's just looking up at you with adoration.
I very awkwardly pat him.
Yeah, and he's just puts his head into it.
Should we not be keeping this room sanitary?
As you put the burnt corpse wrapped in tarp you found in the fan.
I don't know, should it be sanitary?
I'm gonna actually take the... see if the Irish Wolfman will follow me and be like, "Are you hungry, dude? Are you hungry, boy?"
Is he ever?
So I'm gonna be like, "Come with me," and I'm gonna go up to the kitchen and find something for this dog to eat.
Okay, so you go up to the dining ballroom.
Yeah.
The breakfast ballroom is now... No, it's the breakfast ballroom, because it is morning. Breakfast is all laid out.
Yep.
Right?
Breakfast ballroom.
There's already a pitcher of orange juice. Not there, because it's gone.
A spot missing where there should be a pitcher of orange juice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a body wrapped in a tarp. And... Cadbury... I just need to roll a check for him here. Okay. Sort of checking out Father O'Malley. Looks over at all of you and is sort of like, well, he seems to be in a deep sleep. I'm not sure. Maybe he was sedated and injected with something.
He was injected with something.
I don't think it would be good to wake him. I'm sure he'll wake up at his own time.
So he's at no risk of
It
death?
doesn't seem to be that he's at risk, unless I completely fudged the roll. He doesn't seem to be in any risk of anything.
I ain't no medical professional. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think he just needs some rest.
Is it all right to leave him resting here? Is there a bedroom we could put him in then?
Yes, I'll get a couple of the servants to maneuver him up to a comfy room with a window overlooking maybe the hedge.
Damn.
Maybe not the hedge. Maybe the front lane.
Yes.
Are we talking about the hedge maze?
Yes.
No, we're not talking about the hedge maze.
What hedge maze?
Exactly. Front lane. If you have a room overlooking the front lane, that would be best.
So what happens is I'm just going to, so some servants come down. They collect up Father O'Malley. They seem to, and Cadbury goes with them.
They ignore the chirp.
Oh yeah, who knows? Well, there's been stranger things down here.
That's true.
It's a good show.
And so Father, takes Father O'Malley out of there, and Cadbury leaves the room. So it's just Amos down here now with Simon. Right, and Simon says, "Well, you're you look like you're tired and bagged. Maybe go get cleaned up, grab some sleep, and I'll do some work on this burnt corpse. See if I can figure anything out."
Do you need any assistance?
You guys look bagged. I mean, I can look it over, or I can leave it. It's up to you guys. I can always go up to the library for a bit as well.
I think Althea would appreciate an autopsy in her own.
Yeah.
Oh, that's understandable. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have poked around either.
I mean,
dear.
you just gotta talk to her about that. Except for the wrath.
Or not. Ah.
He already knows
Do
that
you-
he's made me irritable. Or
Yeah.
he's
It's like, do you honestly believe that she will not have noticed that a single thing has been moved in her laboratory?
Not if she's any good at what she does. Anyway.
Alright.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, because at a certain point I'm assuming you're all going to go up to grab some breakfast
Yep.
and then probably get cleaned up and grab some sleep. Am I wrong?
That
You are
we
right.
cannot function without sleep.
Okay, so you get up to the breakfast ballroom. The Irish Wolfhound is there. Agatha's there. Amos is there. Marion is there. You're all sort of eating some breakfast,
Yeah.
I guess. And Skeet comes in and he grabs some breakfast as well. He goes over to the table.
You wouldn't happen to have seen where that orange juice went, did you?
No. No.
Alright.
We're out of orange juice.
Alright.
Right? And he just goes over to one of the sides and he eats. He just grabs a couple of muffins, I should say, and he goes over to one of the tables, wraps it up in like a handkerchief and stuff like that, and he sort of puts it into a little satchel he has on the side. He's getting some food together. That's about what's happening there.
Skeets, what kind of man is your cousin?
Oh, he's,
Would you say he's an agreeable sort? He's generally friendly, or maybe a bit rougher around the edges?
He can be a little bit hard to take. Coming and going. He's just... he has a tendency to piss people off.
In what way?
Just... people don't like what he says sometimes.
mean,
Sort of
peop-
like you.
I was literally just about to say that.
Yeah, I'm just
that's
gonna move
unfortunate
over.
that other people notice that.
But I'm just going to move over to Althea for a second, as now she's getting into... It's been a little bit as you're pulling up to the driveway. This is happening around the same time. Right?
Mm-hmm.
As you pull up to the driveway, and as you're parking the vehicle, you see Skeet. Seems to be walking from the garage across, heading over to his treehouse, sort of like Bigfoot in the distance. The blurry image, and you just see Skeet just sort of walking from the garage over to the treehouse, which you can't really see. It's a bit hard to see in the woods.
What in the living hell?
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Call. Again, if you want to throw a tip our way for the show, please consider hitting that Ko-fi button on the Twisted Skew Studios website. In the coming weeks, we'll likely be adding a subscriptionable option to our page as well. This won't change the page is currently set, but it will allow us to better gauge interest and start getting some rewards out to you as thanks for your support. Votes for one-shots, maybe NPC suggestions. Feel free to let us know on our socials things you would like to see from us. Until then, our next episode will be Tuesday, January 26th, with Spacers on Tuesday, January 19th. The game system used today was Call of Cthulhu 7th Edition by Chaosium. Music, sound effects, and ambient track licensed through Triune Films, Video Copilot, and Artlist. You can find all of Twisted Gear Studios' podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please follow and like Twisted Gear Studios on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Zelansky, Zach Barrett, and Elizabeth Wells. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and your GM or keeper this evening was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.